Hello everyone, welcome to Hex N Bit. Just acknowledge me on the chat. Am I audible? And today we are going to discuss like building a portfolio website. So before starting that, I will give you some brief about what is a web, how a website works, and what are the basic technologies we are using to create this portfolio website. Okay. So this is the agenda for today's session. So first of all, we will discuss what is web. Then after we will discuss about like what is HTML and CSS and how it works. Then we will discuss the project for which we are here, the portfolio website. And in the last, I will take your questions. Okay. Just let me know, is the screen visible? Like the whiteboard is visible to all? Yes. Is the whiteboard visible? Okay, that's good. So first of all, let's discuss how a website is created and what are the basic technologies we require to create a website. Okay, so basically you can see like a website has two parts. Okay, so first one is front end and second is back end. The things which you see in your browser, okay, all the components which you see in your browser are the components of your front end, and the technologies we use for front end are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and there are some frameworks in JavaScript like React and Angular, but they are apart. But these are the basic technologies which we are using for creating a front end, right? Second thing is backend. So for backend, there is a server and there is database. Okay, so this server, you can say it is a decision making unit, right? So it will make decisions like how the things or what is the data we will transfer to our front end. Okay, like suppose you can create or you can make a query from your front end and it will go to your browser, and this browser will check is this query is correct, or according to that query this server will connect the data from database and render the database to the front end, and this front end, or you can say on this browser, that data will be displayed. Okay, so basically this is a structure of a web page, or you can say a website. Okay, whether it is a small website or a big website, all the website work in this way only. There is a front end which is seen in the browser, and there is a back end which consists of server and the database. Okay, so the technologies like which are using in backend, so you can write your backend in Python, C++, Java, JavaScript, and there are some frameworks in this also. Like in Python we have Django and Flask. Like these two are the most popular ones, but there are some other as well, but these are the popular ones. In Java we have Spring Boot. In JavaScript we have Node.js, and there are some other programming languages also like Golang, Ruby, and so many. Like there are so many languages which you can use to write your backend. Okay, so in today's session, our focus is to create a web page which is your portfolio website. Okay, and we are using the technology that HTML, CSS, and we will use JavaScript as well, right? So I hope like most of you should know about this, what is front end and back end. I'm just revising all the things just to give you a brief, like what are the things we are discussing today. Okay. So like what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the standard markup language for creating a web page. Okay. So you can say that HTML is a kind of a body structure of a web page. Okay. HTML code is used to structure a web page. You can see here, this is a web page. This is a Hex N Bit web page. And in this web page, there are so many elements. So all these elements, like you can see, this is one of the element, like this is a header. In the bottom, there is some footer and there is some content in between, right? So all of these is structured with the help of HTML, right? It consists of elements. So all these things are called as element. Okay. So this is the element, this career is the element, course is the element, internship is the element. So all these things are divided into sub elements, right? HTML elements tell the browser how to display the content. So what is the structure of the content and how the content will come one after another. So that all will structured with the help of your HTML code, right? The building blocks of HTML code. So we have tags. Okay. So an HTML tag surrounds the content and apply meaning to it, right? It is written in greater than and smaller than brackets, right? So this is one of the example. In this example, you can see we have this P tag. P stands for paragraph. Okay, so this is a paragraph tag, and this is the closing paragraph tag, and this is called an opening paragraph tag, right? So each and every HTML element consists of a tag, and each tag has opening and closing tag, right? Next comes attributes. So an attribute in HTML provides information about the elements and is applied within the starting tag. So you can apply the attributes in the starting tag. So here you can see we have applied a class attribute and give it a name like this Hex N Bit. So this is its value and this is its name, right? An HTML attribute contains two fields. First is name and second is value. You can see here it is its name and this is its value. The third one is elements. So an HTML element is an individual component of an HTML file. Okay, suppose you have a HTML file. So in this HTML file, you have so many elements, right? So this complete structure, like this tags, this content, and this attribute, all this consists and called as elements, right? Like everything which is written inside the tags are termed as a element. Okay. So this is the basic things like you should know about, like what are tags, what are attributes, and what is called as element, right? Next, like there is a heading tag which is called as like this H1 to H6. I hope most of you know about this heading tags, but H1 is with the biggest size and H6 is with the smallest size, right? We will use H1 heading tag to create the headings of our web page. Next is a paragraph tag, which is written in this way, P tag, and this is closing P tag, and in between we will write a paragraph. Next is your anchor tag. Like anchor tag is used to link your website to another web page, or you can say link your website to another website. Okay, so for that we will use anchor tag. Then there is an image tag to insert images on your web page. For that you have img. This is your image tag. Then to create tables, we have table tag. Okay. Then we have a list tag to create list, and we have a form tag to create forms. So form, and there's a list. Like list have two tags. Like first is ordered list, OL, and another one is UL, which is unordered list. Okay. Then in HTML we can link our CSS also. So CSS stands for cascading style sheet. Okay. So cascading style sheet means you can give the styling to your web page. Okay. So all the things related to styling or designing is being applied with the help of CSS only, right? To write CSS, we should like we should have selectors. Okay, so classes and id, these are attributes we will use to select our elements. Okay, so the syntax for css is like this is a syntax written here, and you can say this a is your selector, and inside this selector this is a curly bracket, right? This is opening and this is ending curly bracket, and in this curly bracket you can define some properties, right? So the first property here we have defined the color and give it a value as ff. So this is a hexadecimal value, right? You can give rgb values as well as you can give the simple color name also, like red, blue, etc. Whatever the color you want to, you can give. So this is one property. Like you can define another property by just writing this semicolon, and after that you can define another property. Let's suppose you have to define background color. You can define like this, red. Like suppose I want to define red color in the background. For that I just need to write in the next line background color colon then red. Okay, so in this way you can define css properties to a particular element, and that element will be selected with the help of this selector. Okay, so we have some different type of selectors. So the first selector is your element selector. Element selector means you can select your element with the help of that tag name only, like h1, h2, or even p tag, or even you have div tag. Like this you can select your element, right? You have to just write the selector and then you have to give the properties. Like this is the first property, then this is the second property, which is font size, and you can define n number of properties to a particular element. Okay, second comes id selector. So we should define id to a particular element. Like suppose I have an element p tag. Okay, and in this p tag I have defined a id is equals to pa1. Okay, then the closing tag, then there is some content written in between, and then the closing p tag. So I can target this element with the help of id. Okay, so I should write pa1, and then I have to define the css here, properties and the values, like p1 v1, then p2 v2. In this way I can define properties to this. Okay, third one is a class selector. So class selector and like id selector has a major difference, that id selector should be unique for a particular element, but class selector, like it is not to be unique. You can give multiple, like same class to multiple elements. Okay, like suppose I have 5 paragraph tags, so I can give all 5 to a same class. Let's suppose I want to give class as para. So for that what should I have to write? I have to just write p, like p tag, then I have to write class, this is attribute, and in this I have to give para, and in between I have to write the content, and then closing this paragraph tag. In the same way I can write 5 p tags, okay, with the class same as para. So this is the first, second, and you can write third, fourth, fifth, and n number of paragraph tags you can define. Okay, so all these paragraph tag can be addressed, or you can say select with the help of this class selector. For that you have to write full stop, then class name like para, and then you have to define the properties here. Okay, so these properties will be applied to all the elements which have the class called as para, right? Next is grouping selector. Grouping selector is used when we have to select multiple elements, or you can say multiple classes and IDs. Suppose there is a class called para1, then para2, and there is an ID also. So for that I have to write like this, dot para2 dot para1, because these are the classes. And let's suppose I have an ID as pa1, and I have to give the same styling to that all the elements. So for that I can address with the help of this grouping selector. Okay, so this is a basic like idea about like how the css works and how html works. Okay, so now we will discuss about the project which we are going to create today. Okay, like up to now, if anybody have any query or any question, they can ask in the chat, they can write in the chat. Yes, please. Yes, any question, any query regarding this explanation? Yes, anybody? Just write in the chat yes or no. Okay, so let's move forward for the project. So like I have created the project before. I will explain you the code line by line. Okay. So first of all, let me show you the folder structure. So I have created 4 HTML files. So this is our index HTML, like index.html. Just let me know, is this screen visible to all, the code screen? Just write in the chat. Yes, please. Anybody just write in the chat, is the screen visible or not? Okay, that's good. Okay, thanks. So yes, so I have created 4 HTML files. The first one is our index.html. Then there is project.html, skills.html, and contact.html. For each HTML file, I have created a separate CSS file, like this contact.css, index.css, project.css, and skills.css. And I have linked each and every file to their respective HTML files. So if you go up, you can see here, this is the link file. Like this is the link through which these are connected, or you can say are linked. Okay. There is another folder which is images. So whatever the images I am using throughout the project, all are saved inside this folder, right? Then there is a media folder. In this media, I have my resume which I have used in this project. Okay, and there is a JSS folder also where the JavaScript file is written. Okay, so this is the folder structure. First of all, let me show you the project, how it will look like. Okay, so this is a portfolio website. This kind of website. Yes, so we have 4 pages in this. First one is about me, which is this same page, and on this page we have this download CV link. So if you click on this link, so it will open a CV into another web page. Okay, so anybody who is visiting your website, he or she can download it from here. Just click it and it will save it into your computer. Next comes skills. So you can tell any person like what are the skill sets you have and what are the technology you are working on. Okay. Next comes projects. So what are your working projects and what are your completed projects? You can write here, give the description about the project, give some logo of your project, and give your link to that project. Okay. So I've just click on this Hex N Bit. So it will open up in a new tab, and you can see here, this is the Hex N Bit website. Okay. And there's another project which I have linked, which is this Cybric. Okay. This is also one of our projects, right? So in this way, you can link your n number of projects here, right? Last one is contact me. Suppose if anybody is there who can contact you, you can just come here and write and give its details here. I will just write something here like Rishabh Gupta, and email ID. I am writing Then after you can just give any random number and you can just write any message here and just let's work together and just submit. Okay, so it is saying that you have not used this at the rate. So for email input, we have to use at the rate, right? Just submit it. So yes, in this way you can submit your query. Okay. So we will go step by step throughout the code. So we'll start with this index.html and the CSS of this index.html, right? So I've just splitted it here. So on your screen, I have split it in two parts. On the left side, we have CSS, and on the right side, we have HTML, right? So I'll start with HTML. So in the first line, it is written that document type is HTML. Okay. So like this is a HTML file, and in the first line, this file is saying that like this complete document is a HTML type document. Okay. So this doc type means which document type it is, and it is HTML. Then after HTML tag, and in this we have lang. Lang means language, and in this we have given English. En stands for English, right? In HTML tag, like this is HTML tag. If I close this tag, so this is the closing HTML tag and this is the opening HTML tag. Okay. Inside this HTML tag, we have two tags. First is your head tag, which starts from the line 4 and ends up at line 10. And second is your body tag, right? So this body tag means everything which is written or which is showing on your web page is written in your body tag. And in the head tag, there is some meta tags and some links and there's some title. Okay, so this is the title of your web page and this is the link of your CSS file, right? So this is your CSS file which is inside your CSS folder, and then after this index.css is your file name. Okay, so this is your head tag. Then comes the body tag. So in the body tag, I have created this container. Okay, so first let me show you like how this container is working or how we have structured this web page. Okay, so if you see here, if you say that this is the complete web page. Okay, so if I create a web page here, like this is a complete web page. Okay, in this web page I've created a box here which is your sidebar, which is seen here. This is like if I write 1, so this is your 1. Okay, and inside this one, which is your sidebar, all this content is written, and on the remaining part it is one box which is a container 2. Okay, you can say this is box 2, and in this box 2 we have two boxes. First one is info box, like all the information which is written here, it is written inside this info box, right? And this is your image box, like this image which is applied here is inside this image box. In this way, we have structured this web page. You can say we have layout this web page. So this is the parent container, you can say, and these are its child containers, right? And these info and image container are child container of this second box. Okay, like this second box is like this. Okay, so this image and this information is child of this container. Okay, and in this information we have give some h1 tags, some paragraph tags, and all this content written inside this info box, and this button is also inside this info box. Okay, so this is the way to structure a web page, right? Now let's get into the code. Yes. So I have created a container class here in the line 14. So this is the main class. Okay. And this container class contains two subclasses, like you can say two sub boxes. First one is your sidebar and the second one is your main. Okay. If I close this sidebar from here and close this main, so yes, this container contains two things. First one is your sidebar and second is your main. And in this sidebar, if you open this, so yes, so we have created this navigation tag, nav tag, and inside this nav tag we have created this UL, which is unordered list. Okay, UL stands for unordered list. Okay, and in this unordered list we have LI. LI stands for list items, and each LI have one anchor tag. Anchor tag contains the link to the another page. So we have four links here. Like first one is about me, which is same like this, contains the address of its own web page. Okay. Second one is skills, which contains the web page, which is skills.html. Okay. So skills.html is in the same location, in the same folder, right? Next one is project. So project is also in the same folder. And next one is contact. So contact is also in the same folder, right? So in this way, you can write your sidebars. Now let's come on to the styling of this sidebar. So like on the top, I have linked two fonts from Google Fonts. Okay. And after this, first of all, in the line 4, I've created this root selector. With the help of that, I've created all the paddings and margin to be 0. Okay. Then comes the sidebar. So this is a class sidebar. And this sidebar class has background color as orange. Height to be 100 VH. VH stands for viewpoint height. Okay. Viewpoint means whatever the vision we have on the screen. So the 100% vision will be taken with the help of this 100 VH. Right. And this is your font family. So I've imported this font family from Google Fonts. So this is that font family. Right. So for this nav, like sidebar, inside this sidebar we have nav. So this is the nav, and I have give some padding to this nav, which is 30 pixels. Okay, I will show in the developer tools how we can increase or decrease this padding. Just first of all, right now I'm just explaining what are the like properties I've applied to this navigation bar, or you can say a sidebar. Okay. After this, inside sidebar, inside nav, we have li, which are list items. So list items, like list style to be none. Like initially list style means like it is giving you some bullet points. So I have removed those bullets. Okay. And give the some padding to that list items, 33 pixel in the top and bottom and 0 pixel in the left and right. Okay. And font size to be 30 pixel. Okay. And for the anchor tags inside this li, like in this li, we have anchor tags inside this li, right? So all these anchor tags, like text decoration to be none. Like initially the anchor text contains underline. Okay. So we have to remove that underline. For that I have write this text decoration to be none. Then after color of that text, I have given it a black color and font weight to be bold. Okay. So let's go to the output and check how it will look like if I remove all these things or if I change some of the things. Okay. So for that you have to just right click on the web page and just go on inspect, and inside this inspect you can go on this sidebar, and if you click on this sidebar, so all the CSS is written here. You can modify the CSS from here. Like this is called as your developers tool. You can try and test the things from here, like which color is looking better, and just test that color and then copy the color code and just write it into the like your actual code. Okay. In this way you can change the things or you can test the things. Suppose I want to give it a pink color. I can change this color. Yes, I think this is good. So what I will do, I will just copy this from here and go back into the code, and I will just make it here. Control S to save. As I save this, if I go and check the output, and if I just refresh it, so you can see this menu bar color is changed. So in this way, you can test the different properties with the help of your developers tool. So inside this sidebar, we have this nav, and nav has this padding which is 30 pixels. Suppose I want to increase the padding. Just select it and increase the value. As I am increasing the value, you can see the changes in the web page. Here you can see this padding is increased. As I go down, if I click on this padding, so you can see the color of, like there comes a green color. Okay, so this is because we are increasing the padding. Okay, if I increase it more, let's suppose I will make it 100 pixels. So you can see this green color outside this nav is because of the padding. Okay, so let's reduce it and make it 30, or you can just refresh it, reload it, so it will come into its original position, right? So this is a padding. Then comes your UL tag, and in this UL we have li. Li have this text decoration to be none. If I remove this li, so you can see we are getting underlined in all the anchor tags. You can see here we are getting underlines here. So to remove these underlines, you have to give the property text decoration to be none. Okay, and this color, which is black, and font weight to be bold. If I just remove this font weight, so you can see the color is getting lighter. Okay, so make it a strong, so I have given it a bold. So I have applied this, all these properties to all the anchor tags. Okay, so in this way I've created this menu bar. You can make your own menu bar according to your requirements, according to your color themes, or according to your size of the menu bar. Okay, next comes this main, which is apart from sidebar. The second one is main, right? So in this main, the first container is your info container, and in this info container we have div info, and the second one is your div pick. Okay, so inside this div info we have a div which contains class is equals to hi. Hi is the class name, and in this it is written as hi I am, only these three words. And in the second div, its class is my name, and Abhishek Gupta is written in this div. And after that we have third, which is the post class, and in this it is written founder and CEO at Hex N Bit. Okay, and you can see this Hex N Bit is written in B tag. So B tag stands for bold. Okay, the next div is for your about, like in this about, experience of your, or you can say the person who has this portfolio is written here. Okay, the next one is button tag. Okay, so in the button tag we have created an anchor tag, and in this anchor tag we have give the link to our resume. Okay, so the resume is in the media folder. If I click on this media, so this is the resume. So I have linked this resume here. So inside this href you have to write media, and inside this media we have this Hex N Bits Abhishek profile .pdf. So this is your PDF file, and there is another attribute which is target is equals to blank. So this target equals to blank, what it will do, it will open this CV, or you can say this resume, into a new tab from where you can download it. Then after, in the button, we have write this download CV, and then closing the button tag and closing the anchor. Okay. In the bottom, like this is your div pic. Okay. So in the, like I have downloaded a pic where I have removed it, like remove the background. Okay. So this is the picture which I am using. So there's no background in this picture. Because of that, the image is looking really great on the web page. Okay. And I have linked this image in this image tag and give it a alternative name as Abhishek Gupta Hex N Bit CEO. Okay. So if you go on to the CSS of this, so this is the CSS here. Yes, the main is the main class, and we have given the 90 view width, like you can say viewpoint width, that is 90. Okay. Then container is the flex box. Okay, so the display is being flex. So flex box is a really cool, or you can say really good thing which is introduced in new CSS, you can say. Okay. And it is a very helpful feature to create your like to make your layouts easy and dynamic. Okay, or you can say responsive as well. Okay, so display is equals to flex, and inside this info container we have given the height as 58 VH. All of these heights, like I have given by just checking onto the web page and like which is the best size. For that, you can just refer to the developers tool and try and test there what is the best height you can give to your particular element. Okay, and width to be the 80 VH, and margin to be the 144 pixels in the top and bottom, and auto in the right hand. Okay, auto means it will make it in the center. Next comes the display is equals to flex. I am creating the second box which is written inside this, also to be the flex box, right? Then comes HI. So I have created the font to be 55 pixels. And in my name, okay, so the my name is this, where I have written this Abhishek Gupta. So the font size for this is 48, and the font size of this high, like where it is written that hi I am, it is 55 pixels. Okay, so this font size of my name is smaller than the high one. Okay, font width to be bold, and the font family is this, which I have imported from the Google Fonts. Next comes the post. So the font size of the post is also less than the font size of the my name. Okay, and word space, like this is a very good property. Word space means the space between these two words, like this is post, so like this font, like this founder and so the space between these two words, you can manipulate this with the help of this font space. So I've given it minus 20 pixel. You can give it any space, like you can just check onto the web page and then you can look after like what is the best thing you want to add. Next is about. So this is our about one div, and in this div I've given the font size at 22 pixel. This is less than the post size. Then the margin to be 23 pixel, then font width to be bold, and the font family to be the same as I have used above. Okay, next comes button. Okay, so I've used a button here, and in this button class there's an anchor tag. Okay, and on this button I've given a padding as 9 pixel in the top and bottom and 14 pixel in the left and right. And in the button radius, okay, like you can say border radius. So border radius means curving your button. So I've given it 22 pixels. Then comes the color, which is white, and the background color is blue. So color white means the text color to be white and the background color to be blue. Okay. There's another selector, like which is this hover selector. Hover means whenever you click onto that button, so the color of the text changed to blue and the background color changed to white. So this is opposite of this, right? As you go and hover onto that particular button, so the text color is changed to blue and the background color is changed to white. But before that, the text color is white and the background color is blue. Okay. Next comes font width to be bold, font size to be 21 pixel, margin to be 30 pixel in the top and bottom and 10 pixel in the left and right. And cursor property, like this is a very important one, like cursor property to be pointer, like as if I show you all these properties. So if I click on to this button, so you can see the cursor is changed. For now this is like mouse cursor, like this is a, and if I click on this, so you can see it is converted into the pointer, and you can say the color changes of the button as well, right? So this is the hover property. Next comes the div info. Okay, so the padding inside the div info is like 0 pixel on the top, 0 pixel in the right, 0 pixel in the bottom, but 20 pixel on the left. Again the display to be flexed, flex direction to be column. Column means you want to like align the elements in the column format, like in the horizontal format. Default it is vertical. Okay, and next is justify content. Justify content means the content inside this box is justified, like it will be centered. Okay, in the vertical direction it could be centered. Okay, next is div image. So it has the height as 58 vh, and flex wrap to be on. Flex wrap means if you shrink the size of the screen, so the text or you can say the image will come downer. Okay, I will show you what I am saying. So this is your output, and if I open the developers tool and if I reduce the size, so you can see this text is shifting towards left. Okay, yes, so we are in the main, and here like all these CSS written here, you can change it according to your requirements. If I show you the background color, if I apply this background color here, so you can see this is the main. Okay, this is a main box which is backed with the help of this red color, right? Then comes this div pick. So this div pick is this part. This one. So this is a div pick which is highlighted on the web page. This is okay. If I give it a background color, let's suppose I will apply some background color to this div pick. So for that I will write div background color to be, let's suppose I will give it yellow. Control S to save. I'm just doing it to show you, like I think I have to save this. Okay, I have write the wrong spelling. I have to write DEV. Okay, Control S to save. Now let's check the output. So this is your div, which is your like the picture is inside this div. Okay, so I have highlighted this div, right? So in this way we have structured this web page, and if you click on this download CV, so it will open your PDF file into another browser, oh sorry, another tab, and you can just download it from here. Okay, so this is your home page of your portfolio website, right? Next comes your skill. So you can just give your skills here. Let me show you the code for the skills also. So this is the CSS part, and Yes. So this is the CSS and this is your HTML. So in HTML, this sidebar is same. Okay. And the CSS also for the sidebar is same, right? If you go down, like we have this main, and inside this main, we have this intro. And in this intro, like what are the technologies you are working on, it is written here, right? Like what is your experience and what are the projects you have done. You can write all of them here. And then after your skill set, okay, so you can just write your skill set here like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or other languages which you know or on which you have worked on. You can just write them here, and you can just style them with the help of your CSS. So this is your main, and the width of this is same as 90 vh, and the container is to be flexbox. Okay, like this display to be flex. Then info container, the height to be 58 vh, width to be 80 vh, and then after margin is same as 144 and auto. Like it is the same code. Like okay, so you have to just change it, like change some things. Like you didn't need this time any picture. Okay, so you can just eliminate that picture. Okay, and then intro, inside the intro you can just give your padding and margin according to your requirements, and then display to be flex and content to be justified like this. And then after intro h2, so intro h2 means like in the class intro you have h2 tag. If you go and check, we have this intro, and in this intro we have this h2 tag. In this it is written as my skills. So we have give some styling to this my skill, and that is the font family to be this and the margin to be 12 pixels. Okay, so you can target each and every element of your web page, right? So after that intro p means inside this intro class we have p tag. So this p tag is this one. Okay, and in this we have given the padding as, sorry, not padding, we have given the margin as 12 pixels. Okay, in the last skill containers, so skill containers means these are the skill container, and inside this we have skill items. So skill items, the first item is HTML, then CSS, then JavaScript, Python, and C++. So you can style them as well, like this display to be flex, align item to be center. Okay, font family, and then font width. Okay, so in this way you can just create your skills page, right? Next is your project. So in project it is also very simple to create. I've just write some of the text for the project, and I've linked that project with the help of this button. Okay, so I will show you the button, or I will show you how I have linked this project. Yes, so in project also this sidebar is same. Okay, so this code is same. In this main we have changed something like this. We have this div info, and in this div info we have projects. Okay, so there are two projects. Okay, so in the line 29 we have project 1, and in the line 41 we have second project. Okay, so for the first project we have h1, which is Hex N Bit, and inside this there's some description about the Hex N Bits. Okay, and then after we have this button. Okay, and in this button I have given the link to the website of the Hex N Bit, and target is equals to blank to open this link into a new tab. Okay, and in the bottom I have add the image of this Hex N Bits website. Okay, so this is another box you can see. Okay, this CSS is also the same, like this sidebar nav for navigation bar. Okay, then comes the main, width is 90 vh, container is display flex, and info container, like this height is 58 vh, 80 vh, it is same as before. Okay, the button styling is also the same. Okay, if you hover onto the button, so it will change its color, it is also the same. Okay, div info is also the same. Okay, yes, div pic, inside this div pic I have given the different height, like this is 60 vh, and if I give it a background color, So just to show you how this is looking, so I will make it aqua. Control S to save. Let's check it once. So this is your background color. Okay, so inside this background, or you can say inside this div, we have this two columns, or you can say these two pictures. First one is your Hex N Bits logo, and second is your CyberXF logo. Okay, next is your H icon. So I have given this class H icon to image tag, which is for Hex N Bits image. Okay, and H icon is getting the padding from the bottom, that is 28 pixel, and padding from the top, which is 90 pixels. Okay, in the same way I've given the class as C icon to this padding left to be 12 pixel. And in the project, so this is your project class, right? And in the project I have used the font family as this Ferasens, and inside the project we have P tag. So this is your P tag, which is inside the project. To this P tag I have given the color as black, font width to be bold, and font family to be source code pro. Okay, so in this way you can create your projects page, and you can add n number of projects here. Okay, and if you click on this Hex N Bit, so it will open your project into a new tab. You can open your both projects. Yes, the last one is contact me. So in this contact me, I've created the form. Like with the help of this form, a person can contact you who is looking onto your profile. Okay, so yes, this is the CSS for contact. Yes, so in contact me, like this is the sidebar, which is same, but inside the main we have form. Okay, so in form I have created the first one, like there is a field which is name. Okay, just to take the name of the user, then the email ID of the user, then the phone number, and then message from the user if there any message from the user. Okay, then there is a checkbox in which I have written let's work together. You can change it and write anything which you want, like you want to work with him, or like you want to add anything else into your form. Okay, then after there is a submit button. Okay, and after the submit button we have an image for register here. Okay, and in the CSS, the sidebar CSS is same, but in the main, like this 90 VW is same, and in the container we have this display to be flex, and button CSS is also the same, and this button hover is also the same. There is a button SM, so it is used to create a small button. If you have any small button, for that you can use this SM class. You can just write it. Like I have taken the reference of this SM from the Bootstrap. Okay, so you can write your own classes. It is easy to do that. Then after all info means like this. This is a all info box, and it has this 80 VH height and 80 VW to be the width, margin to be 40 pixel in the top and 0 pixel in all of the right, left, and bottom. Okay, then display to be flex, justify content, and font family. Next comes container form. So this is a container form inside this all form, and it has the same like font family, padding, display, flex, direction, and justify content. Okay, then comes the image. So for image we have given the 50 VH to be the height and 70 pixels to be the margin. Next is container, like this contact form, not container, sorry, contact form H1. So the H1 tag which is inside this contact form. So this is this contact me. Like basically the h1 is contact me, and we have given the padding as 12 pixel from top and bottom and 0 pixel from left and right, and the font family to be this source code pro. Then after, divs inside the form tag. So inside this form we have some div tags. So this is one of the div, this is the second div, this is the third div, and fourth and fifth. There are 5 divs, and each div has the padding of 10 pixel, display to be flex, and flex direction to be column. Okay. Then inside this div we have input tags. So the width of input tags is same, which is 26 VW, and border radius is also same, which is 5 pixels, right? Margin is same and padding is same. So this will make your like width of the form to be same. So this is this width of your input tag. Okay, this is same. Next is there's a ID which is form check. Like this is your ID form check. Yes, this is your ID form check, where you have created a checkbox, right? And its flex direction is row. And the next one form ID is form check input. So like inside this form check we have the input tag, and we have given it a width as 24 pixel and this margin to be 3 pixels. Okay. So in this way you can create your contact form, right? So just an overview of the same. Like this is your about me page, where we have created these boxes. Like this is the first box, which is your sidebar, and this is your main box. And inside the main box you have 2 boxes. Inside the main box you have 2 boxes. This is your info box, and this is your picture box. Okay. If you go on to the skill set, yeah, on the skills, yes, in skills we have this sidebar, it is same, and in the main we have one box like this, and in this one box it is your h1 tag, this is your p tag, this is again your h1, and these are your separate skills. Okay, you can add n number of skills here. Next is your project. So in this project, again, this is your sidebar, this is your sidebar. Like sidebar is same in each and every page, and this is your information box, and this information box contains 2 projects, project 1 and project 2, and this is your image box. This image box contains 2 images. This is your image 1, which is of Hex N Bit, and this is the second image, which is Cybersoft image. Okay. Next is your contact me. So in contact me, this is your form, and this is your image, and both of these are part of your main box, right? And in this form you have created this input formats and give it a button to submit the form, right? So this is all about this project. I will share you the relevant text or like the images which I have used in this project. Yes. Now I will take your questions. If anybody have any questions, they can ask. Yes, please. I am open for your questions. If anybody have any questions. If you can write a question in the chat. Okay, so the recording will be shared to you after this session. Yes. Anything else? Any other question you want to ask? Okay. Okay. Just before ending up this session, I've just walked you through our website, our Hex N Bit's website. So we are providing like training on different domains. Like you can train, like you can get the courses on our platform on web development, on like electronics, like embedded IoT, or you can get the courses on different time durations. Like you can get the course on 6 months, 3 months, and even you can get 6 weeks internships also. And we have professional programs as well, like certification program in embedded systems, certification in VLSI, and we have program in full stack development as well. So you can join us for your like future development of your like skill sets. And if you want to learn more, so you can write us onto our mail, right? And we will share your feedback form after this session. Just fill that feedback form and tell us like what are the different topics you want us to create or make these live webinars. Okay, so you can contact us on the mail IDs we have shared in the chat. You can check out all the mail IDs and the websites. And like we have started the offline batches as well, so you can check out our offline courses and offline programs. So you can check out our website, and if you have any query you can write us on the mail, and even you can call us. There's a number on the website. You can get that number and you can ask for the like different courses and everything which you want. So okay, that's it from my side. Yeah, any other question if anybody have? Yes. No, it is not paid internship. It is, you have to pay for that internship, and we will train you on the different technologies. Okay. Yes, Mayank Mittal. Yeah. Mayank, these are okay. Yes, anybody have any question? Yes. So okay. We are ending this session. Thank you so much.